Good evening, everyone. On behalf of JNU Lecture Series, I, Mohammad Siddique, welcome you all to the third lecture of the series titled Reflections on Global Political Thought. Today's session is special not only because of the theme we engage with, but because of the thinker who has graciously agreed to be with us. Before I introduce him formally and speak about the theme of the session, allow me to share a personal note, something that I believe resonates not just with me, but with many students, political science students sitting here. Hosting Professor Mehta this afternoon is quite honestly a surreal moment. Like countless students of political science across the country, my first proper introduction to the landscape of Indian politics was through the Oxford Companion to Indian Politics, edited by him and Professor Nija Gopal Jayal. It is not an exaggeration to say that book has become almost canonical and evergreen companion for students trying to understand the Indian political life. I read it during my undergraduate years, never imagining that one day we would be having the privilege of hosting him in person. For CPS students, the connection is even more immediate. In our very first semester, we were given his seminal reading, The Inner Conflict of Constitutionalism, Judicial Review, and the Basic Structure. That reading shaped how many of us began to understand constitutional morality, judicial power, and the complexities of constitutional evolution in India. What makes today even more significant is the intention with which Professor Mehta has chosen to engage with us. Instead of delivering a conventional lecture, he has generously expressed the desire to have this session structured as a dialogue, a space where he can understand what kinds of questions, concerns, and curiosities currently resonate with students and respond to them in a reflective, conversational, and dialogic manner. Today's theme, Reflection on Global Political Thought, is both timely and intellectually urgent. We are living in a moment of profound transitions. Across the world, political order stands at a crossroads. Democracy are grappling with unprecedented crisis of legitimacy. Institutions are facing diminishing trust, and societies are wrestling with polarization of a scale rarely witnessed in a recent decades. Simultaneously, the global landscape of political theory is undergoing its own crisis. Its assumptions are being challenged, its frameworks questioned, and its categories tested by realities that do not fit neatly within traditional explanatory models. There is a growing tension between lived political experiences and the conceptual tools with which political theorists attempt to interpret them. The global legitimation crisis, whether in democratic institutions, multilateral organizations, constitutional structures, or even normative ideals, seems to mirror an intellectual crisis within political thought itself. The established theories that once claimed universality now appear to falter when confronted with the politics of identity, inequality, technology, climate change, migration, and the new forms of authoritarianism that defy older definitions. In such a moment, the question is no longer simply what is happening to politics, but also what is happening to political theory. How do we theorize a world where categories such as liberalism, democracy, secularism, and justice are themselves undergoing transformation? How do we make sense of global reality in which the moral languages of politics often fail to speak to the anxieties and desires of societies? And importantly, how can political thought reclaim its connection to democratic conversations, public reasoning, and civic imaginations? These questions lie at the heart of today's conversations. Professor Pratap Bhanu Mehta is one of India's most distinguished political theorists and public intellectuals. He is a senior fellow at the Center for Policy Research and Lawrence Rockefeller Distinguished Professor at the Princeton University. He has served as the Vice Chancellor of the Ashoka University and has held academic appointments at Harvard University, New York University School of Law, and Jawaharlal Nehru University. A celebrated scholar of political theory, constitutional law, and Indian politics, Professor Mehta has authored and edited several influential works, including The Burden of Democracy and the very famous The Oxford Companion to Politics in India. Beyond academia, his decades long contribution as a columnist particularly through the Indian Express, have shaped public conversations on democracy, institutions, and moral life of politics in India. He is widely regarded as one of the most insightful, principled, and intellectually fearless voices of our time. Before we begin, just a gentle reminder, JNU Lecture Series is an entirely student-driven initiative without any funding from any institutions or organization. If you find value in these conversations and wish to help us sustain this series, we would be deeply grateful for your generous contribution when the QR code is circulated. Every contribution helps us bring leading scholars to JNU and keep this platform alive. With that, it is my privilege and heartfelt honor to welcome Professor Pratap Bhanu Mehta to guide us through a dialogue on reflections on global political thought. Sir, thank you for being here. Over to you.